I'm now joined by Ambassador Javed Ashraf. Thank you, sir, very much for being with us. Let's have Ambassador Ashraf up on the screen. It's a difficult one, but let me ask you, in your personal opinion, do you believe that there is a possibility of further escalation?
Well, I think there would be a symbolic response from Pakistan, maybe a couple of hits. As you've just seen, they have escalated the firing across the LOC, which has resulted in civilian casualties. There may be a couple of symbolic attacks, but I don't think that I see this escalating into a full-scale, prolonged war between the two countries for a number of reasons. One is that they have to recognize their economic fragility and political instability. There will be a lot of international pressure also on Pakistan to avoid escalation in view of their culpability in the attack. India has already conveyed that there's absolutely no interest in escalating this further after achieving their objectives, and that we have been measured in our response, confining ourselves to hitting terrorist targets and avoiding any collateral civilian damage or destruction to the military installations. Pakistan will, of course, play out a very massive disinformation campaign. The fog of war, there is always this kind of a game that is played out. It needs to reassure its people that it has stood up to India and that it was able to repulse or in fact inflict some damage on the other side. But the prospects of a long-term war escalation is limited. Second point here is that for Pakistan, they may wait their time, and we have to be very mindful of the fact that there may be another round of a major terrorist attack, this time on security forces, just to demonstrate that they haven't been deterred in this. We'll also have to watch out for cyber attacks, which is less visible but can be equally damaging, but not just from Pakistan, but from other countries that might be supporting Pakistan. We've experienced that in the past. So all told, we will be prepared for a full spectrum. And in case there is a retaliation from Pakistan, please remember, we went for terrorist targets. They'll have to go for civilian or military targets, in which case they're basically saying we're declaring a full-scale war, in which case I have no doubt that we will prevail, particularly the superiority in the naval and the air force will be able to hold Pakistan quite strongly, and they're also aware of that.
Ambassador Ashraf, the fact that we've released footage this time, which was absent in the past for whatever the reasons were, how significant is that in sending out a message, not just to people within our country, but also to Pakistan, which had disputed what we'd done in Balakot, saying, here, look, it's not one target, but several, and here's video evidence?
So it has, two very important messages. One, of course, is that, we've carried out simultaneous strikes on 9 of those terrorist camps. Remember, Bahawalpur and Murid are the principal nurseries of decades-long terrorism against India, and we've been trying to have them shut down for a very long time. Now, in releasing these images, we are, as you've also mentioned before, taking note of the fact that the last time when we had the strike in Balakot, we almost lost this battle of narrative and perception, and people began to doubt, and people sowed seeds of doubt about whether we had achieved anything at all. So one is a message to your own people and to your own country that what we've said, we've done, and this is your evidence of it. Second, it's the people of Pakistan that don't get taken in by the messaging, the rhetoric, or the obfuscation by the military establishment there, but even more to the international community that we set out to achieve a certain set of objectives, and here's the evidence of what we've done. And this also reflects, the very calm assertion of power.
Ambassador Ashraf, are you disappointed at the reaction of Turkey, which seems to be backing Pakistan at a time when so many countries around the world see it as nothing but being a state sponsor of terror?
Vishnu, I would have been very surprised if they've done anything otherwise. They are absolutely joined at the hips They're the principal supporter of Pakistan. They, in every diplomatic, military, ideologically, they have also been supporting them. In fact, they're as close an ally as China, and China will perhaps be a little circumspect in getting involved in something of this nature. But for Turkey, this is nothing, and you've seen that in various forums. They speak on behalf of Pakistan. In fact, these attacks that we've seen yesterday, the strikes, is absolutely not surprising. But what would have been surprising is if Turkey had done it otherwise than stand in support for Pakistan.
All
But I
right.
think
Yeah, go ahead,
what
sir.
I have seen, and I think I should point this out, I've been watching this, as you know, from 1999 onwards when we had Kargil and then, the terror attack in the parliament, Kaluchak, then we had Mumbai, and then we've more recently Pathankot, Uri, and Pulwama. First is our outreach to the international community is much faster. The international understanding for the action that we have taken is much better. They will still be accompanied by concern of escalation into a prolonged conflict. But part of what we have seeing is a change in the terms of our response. We have preempted any possible international effort to prevent some sort of military response. And that also helps in creating a sense of acceptance and understanding for the kind of response that we have actually meted out. And in this, the videos are of great help.
Ambassador Ashraf, great speaking to you. Thanks very much for being with us.